The next video covering traffic circles, we're having a look at entering a traffic circle. And this video is really dealing with the first two rules that were mentioned in the introductory video to traffic circles, namely who has the right of way when it comes to a traffic circle. The first rule was that the vehicle within the traffic circle has the right of way. And the second rule is that any vehicles waiting to enter the traffic circle must give way to any vehicles within the traffic circle. Let's have a look at that in the animation then. So here we have the driver of a golden vehicle now entering into the traffic circle, the driver of the blue vehicle approaching the traffic circle, and likewise the driver of the green vehicle approaching the traffic circle. So because the driver of the golden vehicle is already in the traffic circle, he has the right of way. The driver of the blue vehicle and green vehicle now have to wait. So the driver of the golden vehicle now exiting the traffic circle, and the driver of the blue vehicle is now starting to enter into the traffic circle. So the driver of the green vehicle now has to wait and give way to this vehicle that's already in the traffic circle. Once a vehicle's passed, now the driver of the green vehicle can go ahead. So fairly straightforward there. Let's have a look at a real life clip, and we'll track the camera as he progresses through the traffic circle. So the camera has now entered the traffic circle. Notice these two vehicles, a truck and another vehicle slightly behind that and in the adjacent lane. So because the camera is now within the traffic circle, these two vehicles need to give way to the camera. However, notice that the driver of the vehicle who's on the far side of the truck, their visibility is now limited of any vehicles within the traffic circle, so they should be traveling especially slowly. But aside from that, each now needs to give way to the vehicle that's within the traffic circle. Now, the driver of this vehicle, apart from just continuing to progress across the traffic circle, and aside from being blinded by the truck, notice when we progress the video that this driver doesn't even look to the left for any approaching vehicles within the traffic circle. So just continues oblivious to any oncoming traffic. The next real life clip, much the same thing. We'll see the camera enters into the traffic circle and then has the right of way for any vehicles wanting to enter. Once again, a vehicle approaching at a fair speed, not slowing down, not giving way to the camera. And as is the case with the driver in the first real life clip, notice that this driver also likewise doesn't look to their left, just looks straight ahead and continues oblivious to the approaching camera. The second animation, and the point of this animation, is that when we enter a traffic circle, that we need to slow down. And so we cannot enter it at speed. And you'll see in the real life clip to follow what the repercussions are if we enter a traffic circle at speed. You can see this is a larger traffic circle, so it is possible for one to enter at a fair rate of knots. But we always need to slow down, especially if we see any vehicles already within the traffic circle. A real life clip to demonstrate what we've just seen. There we go, this vehicle approaching at speed and now collides with the vehicle already within the traffic circle. So two things: if we are cautious drivers, or we need to be even more cautious at a traffic circle, being aware that people may not know the rules of being able to enter a traffic circle, and as we saw in the two real life clips just to precede this, that people just continue at the same speed. They don't slow down and don't even look to see if there's any approaching vehicle. So let's just be aware of that. If we are within a traffic circle, don't just assume that we have the right of way, and so don't need to act cautiously. Conversely, if we approaching to enter a traffic circle, we don't want to behave as these other drivers did, by not slowing down, not looking out for other vehicles within the traffic circle. We always want to drive courteously, and in that way we can try and prevent any incidents from happening.
Please like, subscribe, and get notified.